Today we're going to show you how to create a budget to actual report. Why would you want to create a budget to actual report? Well, you may want to know how you're doing during the year. As a matter of fact, you should check back frequently to make sure that your budget is sufficient to cover through year end. So first, we're going to open the Munis program, and as you can see, I have it up on the screen. Yours may look different. You may not have these tiles that I've created. You also may not have any favorites over here or any recent activity here. We hope to change that. So first of all, you're going to go over to the right hand side and you see the Tyler menu. Click on it. Now, one of the ways that we can get to an item, now again, this may be different for you. You probably don't have all these options because your security doesn't allow you to access these programs. We're going to show you an easy way to get to whatever particular program you wish to use within Munis. In this case, I'm going to create a year-to-date budget report. So you click on the search bar, start typing, and I'm just going to put year-to-date budget. I know it begins with that, and I'm going to hit the search. And there you can see there are actually two instances of this report that we can access in different parts of this menu. That's why you see the number 2 here. So then I want you to click on that. And what you have over here is you have your account information that you need to type in order to get a particular department. And after we do this, we're going to come over here and we're going to check out some report options. So first of all, for my purposes and our purposes today, we are going to click on what's called the segment find. A little bit easier to find a particular department, a single department, than from using the previous screen you just saw. Okay, so first of all, for our demonstration today, we are going to choose a department within the general fund. So general fund is 0100. If you didn't know that, there's help boxes over here that you can use pick lists. And you can see general fund, it's the first one. Double click on that. Then departments. Again, if you know the number of your department, you can just type it in. If you don't know the number, then you can click on the pick list. Now again, you may not see all of these departments because you don't have access to them. You should at least see the department that is yours and that you're trying to create a report for. So we'll go down here and who will we pick on today? Let's pick on the comptroller, which is 135. All right, so we have the fund, we have the department, and now what we want to see is the expenses only. Most departments have revenue accounts that they deposit into, which they probably will have access to as well. But for our purposes today, we just want to see expenses. So we're going to drop down this account type and we click on expense. That's it, you're done. Click on accept. And you'll notice down the bottom, 19 records were found. Does that mean we're going to see all 19 accounts? Probably not. This includes accounts with no money in them and no budget and no expenditures. So if that's the case, in the particular year you're trying to create the report, you will never see that account. So now we come over here to report options. Now let's just take a look. Up at the top, we have the reporting sequence. This is the sequence by which it will sort what you've requested. I always leave it with these three, and we'll go over one by one. First of all, you want the fund first. So if I'm reporting on several funds, I want them in fund order. Next, we go to department. Again, if I'm reporting on several departments, I want them in department order. And finally, we've got this one called budgetary. What is budgetary? Well, budgetary happens to be the classification of an expense. An example would be personal services. Another one would be expenses. Another one might be encumbrances. Now, if you think about it, legally, you are not allowed to spend from an account that is not created for that particular purpose, but they're in a group. In other words, you may have an electricity account. You may, that's a bad example. You may have a meetings and conference account. You may also have an office supplies account. You can overspend one particular line item as long as the totals that you're spending don't exceed the amount voted by the town council in the budget. So this will become more clear when we complete this report. Over this side, I always put it out as far as possible. There are 12 periods actually and a 13th for adjustments. I will just automatically leave it at this so that I am sure to capture everything to date. Recall our conversation about zero accounts. We really don't want to see them. Some departments, it'll really confuse you how many there are that are not currently being used. So we're going to suppress those. Go over here. We don't want totals only. And I'll show you that would be the totals for these up here. We want to see the individual details, and you want to leave this clicked in case you have any questions about how the report was created. It will actually show you report options. So we're done. You can also title the report. I have a default one here, date report, because I'm so often making reports that are as far out as possible, i.e. period 13, fiscal year 2019. So I click on accept and return. Now we've got it all loaded. We've got the report option set. Time to create a report in a PDF. And you can see it's processing up here. And in a minute, we're going to see a pop-up box that's going to ask us if we want to open our PDF, and we do. Let's move this over here. We'll enlarge this a little bit, and you can see here's the general fund, the comptroller's budget, and the budgetary. 1 personal services, 2 expenses, and I only have that and an encumbrance account, which is an 8. And there you can see there's the grand total of what I have available, along with the percentages over here. This is a great way. You should do this periodically, at least once a month. Take a look at your accounts, make sure everything's right, make sure there were no mistakes made. Now, we're going to go a little bit further. I'm not going to go into any great detail. We'll leave that for another day, but I want to show you how to get the detail even further. We want to know what's in these accounts. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to see what right here they've created. The program has created account links. These links are very handy. I will show you what I mean. We'll take one, let's say office supplies. Let's hope everything I got in here. I know I can show the world. Click on it. What happens is a new Explorer screen will show up. This is a new program, and you can see there's my office supplies. Over here, this is called the account inquiry screen. You can access that through the um, search menu, like we did the year-to-date report, as long as you know what the account number is and you can search for it. You can see this, the same type of interface that we had on the year-to-date report. Okay, so we've spent $925 out of $2,300 that we were budgeted for this account, and we have available that amount. No encumbrances, no requisitions in the works for this account. Okay, so let's go back and let's look at 18. Now you'll notice 18 got overspent. How could that be? Well, recall our conversation. If you're within the budgetary number, i.e. expenses in this case, a deficit here means somewhere else we made that up because we didn't go over our budget in total for the number 2 budgetary fund, which is expenses. Okay, so back to here. We can also go back and we can look at several years' history on what happened with that account. You can see 2016, we had $1,200 left, we overspent it this year, and so on and so forth. And this will go back several years if that account existed for several years. Okay, so back to the current year. One more thing and we're done for our video. So we want to see what's in here. I don't remember spending any money out of this account. Why is there $926 spent out of it? See these little folders? Click on the one next to the actuals. And what we have here is we have the vendor, we have the amount, we have the check number, everything that you could imagine so that we can see what we spent out of this account. Okay, so then if we want to get back, we go there. If we're done with this screen, we can exit out. There's your PDF file. You can then take this PDF and you can save it to your drive, and rename it, do a number of things with it. Send it to somebody that is requested that you create this report, like people request of me. And one more thing, if you look down the bottom, you should see the parameters that I've created. It takes a little while to kind of dope out what's going on here, but it's all clear once you know how you created that report, what all this means. Okay, so that's all we have for today. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you have any questions, please shoot me an email at ccandini@franklinma.com.